Hello and welcome back to the When You're podcast, the podcast for when you're doing anything. Today we're talking about when you're loving on Valentine's Day. Now, it is officially Valentine's Day, and we all got, maybe a little special someone, a little special somebody in our life. Somebody that we already know and has been in our lives for a while, or that special new somebody that we want to spend some of our life with. I'm not going to say all of our life with, but some, or maybe all, depending on where you're at. But we all got that special somebody. We all got somebody who we want to give our full undivided love and attention to. Now, this ranges and varies from person to person. It could be a boy, it could be a girl, it could be a they, you know what I'm saying? It could be any number of person. And any kind of person. What did I say? Number of person. Kind of person. And now it's your time to show off. It's your time to really give them all of your love, just to put it out on the line. Worst that happens, what, they say no? You're gonna live. You're gonna make it to the next day. You know what I mean? But what's worse, what's more cruel, is not being able to share all the love that you have inside. Don't keep it in. You can't keep it in any longer. You got to let it out. And now is the time. Now is absolutely the perfect time to let it all out. It is Valentine's Day. And just put your heart on the line. Just do it right now. Right here, right now. Pause this. Get out of this podcast and go do it, all right? Send that risky text. Put it all on the line. Make a little paragraph or a sentence or two. And just do it, all right? There's nothing stopping you. There's nothing worse than, having something and not putting it out there, especially if it's love, especially if you only have the best intentions. If you don't have the best intentions, I'm telling you right now, things are not going to work out the way you want them to. All right, things are going to crumble down beneath your feet and you're going to be like, why didn't it work out? It's because you know what you were doing. You know what you were doing. But if you really, really are truly devoted to somebody, truly want the best things for them, and you feel like you can contribute to that, this is your time. And it's not only about, treating somebody else like special, but it's about the people in your life that you treat special, that you show love to. That's what it's all about. So a special someone doesn't even need to be somebody who you want to be with romantically. It could just be about maybe, how about this? You give a little love back to your mom or to your dad or whoever's in your life, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, cousins, family, friends, whoever, you know what I'm saying? Just give a little something back, a little thank you for being in my life, and I appreciate you, and you are special to me, and I acknowledge all of the love that you give me, and I want to give it back and show it and show my appreciation and love for you back. You know what I mean? And it can be any number of ways, but it's all about you. It's all about, what do you want to give to people? What kind of love suits your style? If it's, they have those 5 love languages, but it's more about like finding what works for you best and then amplifying it up, because it's definitely something that you want to do. It's something that makes you feel good. I know that when I am really, really good, or like when I'm at my happiest, I give the most amount of love, and it's just so effortless. It's so easy to give it out to the world. And that's what today's all about. You got to refine that feeling of pure joy, of pure bliss, of pure love. And when you do that, somebody on the receiving end of it is definitely going to feel it. They're going to be like, wow, I really appreciate it. I needed that. You made my whole day. This is the best day of my life. I can't believe that you said that to me, or that you did this for me, and so on and so forth. So right here, right now, go find that special someone or special somebody who you have in your life, or that you want to be in your life. Go up to them and give them your love. Give them, say something kind. Say put your feelings out there. And if you do that, it might be scary for them to reject, yes, but it's also scary to not try. So no regrets moving forward. And life just was so much more. I mean, it wasn't such a big deal when we were kids. I remember Valentine's Day at school, and it wasn't about, oh my gosh, let's say Timmy and Jessica like each other. Ooh, it wasn't like that. It wasn't as a big of a deal, but it was just about everybody gets candy and everybody's really nice to each other and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Everybody gets a little card. Everybody passes out a lollipop or whatnot with like a red heart on it. We make like decorations in class for our parents or our friends and stuff. It wasn't like the end of the world Valentine's Day. It didn't feel like a big deal. But now that we have social media and things have gotten bigger and crazier than ever, and you can see what everybody does for everyone, Oh, well, this guy bought his wife a diamond gold necklace and whatnot, or this person did this for their wife, or this person did this for their girlfriend. They covered the whole room with roses, and they try to, and somebody else is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he, they show like those, those couples that aesthetically show off their, I mean, they like to show off, right? They're kind of like, oh my gosh, this is so cute, or, this is, copy this idea, or try this, or do this. And it's just like, now it's become such a big thing. It's become such a big deal that if you underperform or if you don't do enough, it feels like, oh, I didn't do enough, or I wasn't good enough. But that's not true. Doing the best, giving the best of what you got with what you have is what it's all about. Just as long as you put the effort into it, especially for somebody that you love, and they'll see that. They'll definitely acknowledge that. But and again, this is just like at school. It wasn't like, it felt like everybody was a part of it. It felt like everybody got some love and everybody was equal. It wasn't this competition of who could give out the best candy or who could get. It was just like, oh yeah, they passed out a little thing that says, hey, happy Valentine's Day. So glad to be in class with you, blah, 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 blah. And then there's a lollipop in there. And then we throw away the card, and then we eat the lollipop, and then we move on with our lives. It wasn't so crazy. But I feel like the real shift came in like junior high school or middle school, where everybody was just like really young and trying to get into dating or finding a boyfriend and girlfriend and stuff. And it became a lot more, all right, now I'm just going to do one thing for one special person or someone who I actually like. And you're just like, whoa. What about, it became, I don't know when that transition was exactly, when everybody just decided we're not going to do that. Isn't that weird? Isn't it weird, those shifts in our lives where it's like, wait, what happened to everybody passes out candy and we give like cards to each other? What happened to that? And it's just like, yeah, we just don't do that anymore. That's like, elementary school. It's like, whoa. I don't like that. I would have liked a lollipop from whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have liked some candy or Kit Kats or what other kind of candy is out there from my classmate. It didn't have to be like a weird thing. It was just like, hey, happy Valentine's Day. This is what we do. And this is how it is. But it eventually became like very competitive. And I didn't like that. I don't like Valentine's Day being a competition. I want it to be I want it to be a day of spreading joy and good times. That's what it should be about. It shouldn't really be about who does it better or who loves the other person more or than the other one. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, as long as it's real to you, if it's fake on any level, or let's say kind of out of character, right? Let's say, okay, let's take it back to the school scenario. If somebody were to give somebody like a big red heart car for school, and then everybody else gets a candy, then we're going to be like, oh, okay, then this person gets liked a lot more than the rest of us. But that's not, and that is the case, but it shouldn't be like that. It should just be about everybody's created equal, and what could be different is just what's written on the card. That's the only difference, is what does the content, what are the value of the content to each person? To me, it's just a regular card and it just has some generic thing written on it. To somebody else, it's like, oh snap, they like me, da 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 da, and they also gave me some candy. This is dope. But now it's become this huge. It's not only candy anymore. It has to be candy, it has to be flowers, it has to be some sort of trip, it has to be aesthetically pleasing for Instagram, there has to be any number of things that have to be added onto the list, and it just feels a bit overwhelming. The Valentine's Day gifts are overwhelming, and some people just straight up ignore them. Some people are like, I'm happy with like a nice card and some good written words, and those are the people that really appreciate you, because it's not so much about doing the big things, right? That's always appreciated. That's always nice. But it's also about the time that you spent together and what you choose to write, or what kind of effort you put in. So writing a nice, lovely card that expresses words of love and of care for somebody else is really important to that person. Then you gave them a very special Valentine's Day gift. Whereas somebody who maybe wants a big Bentley or loves jewelry, there's going to be levels to it, and you're going to see that. You're going to find that when you're definitely with the person that you love, or somebody that matters to you, and you're going to recognize it. But it shouldn't ever have to feel like you have to compete with other people. That because Valentine's Day gifts are more so about, it's not about showing off. It's only about adding. So I feel like Valentine's Day is adding high levels of value to your love. So whatever, like let's say you have a base level of love, Valentine's Day has to go above and beyond for one day only, and then it goes back down to the base level, So you may give them gifts on a regular basis, but because it's Valentine's Day, you got to boost it up way high and then go back down to regular, and then maybe here and there, depending on when, the next big special event is, or day that you decide to make special, it goes back up again. It goes up and then it goes back to the regular base level. All that I'm trying to say is that Valentine's Day gifts don't feel like you're not doing enough if you don't, aren't doing the same thing that a bunch of people on social media are doing, and don't feel like you have to do those things. While at the same time, if you want to, and if you do feel like, maybe flexing or showing off on social media, just make sure it's you. Don't try to fake it or try to act like it's something else. Make sure it's like, this is very much me and my life. And I would have done this regardless if it was posted on social media. I did this because I wanted to do this, and it was a beautiful moment, and I captured it, and it's going to stay up here for a while. You know what I mean? And also, it doesn't have to be gifts for somebody else. You can buy something for yourself. That's another thing that Valentine's Day has tricked us. It's all about give to somebody else. What about yourself? You can give yourself something very nice for Valentine's Day. Treat yourself. You got to love yourself first. That's very, very important. It's always about, and I do feel that there is a great sense, a great level of love when you give so much of yourself to somebody else, but you got to keep a little something for you. And you know what? Being single on Valentine's Day is a lot of fun. And it's a lot of fun for, I mean, I can list a number of reasons, but it's fun because there's all the love with none of the pressure to deliver. You know, it's only about, okay, what do I want to do for myself? And it's not about, okay, I have to do this for somebody else, and then I have to think about this. I have to go here. We have to do, you know what I mean? There's all these levels. There's all these complications when you're in a relationship. There's all these factors that have to be put into place. Whereas if you're just by yourself, if you're single on Valentine's Day, you're chilling. Yo, what do you want to eat for dinner? Oh, I don't know, pasta? There we go. You're making pasta for dinner, and you're treating yourself to some carbs. You're treating yourself to some spaghetti and meatballs, chicken Alfredo, shrimp Alfredo. Oh my goodness. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And you buy yourself maybe some chocolates, you buy yourself some flowers, and you just get this really healthy relationship with yourself. And it's like, if nothing else, I can take care of me and I can love me. And that's powerful. That is really, really, I mean, those are the moments that really matter. And it's how we establish, how do I love myself, you know? And this is a perfect time for that. Valentine's Day doesn't have to be about loving, you know, just somebody else, but it can also be about, where am I in my life and how do I love myself? And if you are single on Valentine's Day, don't even think about being with somebody on this day or trying, you know what I mean? Just be happy. You're single, you're free. You can go out into the field and frolic happily that you're out there enjoying some good time solo. And to those that have been in relationships or are newly single, or maybe the single lifestyle is just like making you feel a little lonely, because there are others people out there who are really lonely and are feeling they don't like Valentine's Day. They don't like Valentine's Day because it reminds them of how lonely they are. They're in no way, shape, or form in a relationship. They have no special somebody, nobody to call, nothing to do on the day. And that's why it's so important to know yourself. And being single on Valentine's Day, I mean, it's like Christmas. You can't, or Thanksgiving, you know, spending those days alone is really hard on people. But Valentine's Day is kind of like, you can get over that. You know, it's just like, oh, whatever. Oh, they're upping the price on chocolate hearts. Oh yeah, big deal. Whatever, you know. But it does weigh down on some people, because once you got it, you got it. So if you have a relationship and you celebrate Valentine's Day, and then you celebrate it again with that special somebody, and then guess what? It all goes downhill, you know. It breaks apart, the relationship ends, it's a whole mess. And now Valentine's Day, you're like, I can't believe on this day I was with this other person, and you know, you just reminisce. It feels like a punch in the gut in relationships, you know what I mean? It's just like, I can't keep doing this over and over again. I'm telling you right now, you can and you will, because you're a good person, you got a good heart, and you got a lot of love to give. You know, you're not completely drained. You still have something left in you, and it matters. So being single on Valentine's Day is not the end of the world, and it's actually a big, big blessing right here, right now. So take this time to enjoy you. Today is about you, you know? It's not about anybody else. It's not about this person or that person. It's about you. This Valentine's Day is special for only you, not anyone else. So don't worry about it. Don't even try to put that pressure on yourself of, I'm not in a relationship, I have nobody, I'm not doing anything with my life. Hey, it's Valentine's Day. shut up, have some chocolate, and do something that you love to do. Simple as that. Now, to the people who are in a relationship, woo! All right, here we go. To those in a relationship during Valentine's Day, it is a very, very big day for you. It's going to be stressful. It's going to have its ups and downs, maybe. There's nothing worse than having a bad, like planning something for Valentine's Day, and then it just doesn't work out. You know what I mean? It's like, this is supposed to be a special day, and then it gets ruined. Don't you hate that? You definitely hate that sometimes. But being in a relationship during Valentine's Day, especially if it's pure love, if it's genuinely one of the best things for you, oh my goodness. I can only imagine how excited you are for right now. This Valentine's Day, I mean, now sometimes you may kind of like it, you kind of don't. You know, I feel like a lot of people are like, you know what, let's not do anything for Valentine's Day. Especially those in a relationship. They're like, let's not make a big deal out of it. Make a big deal out of it. Have fun with it. Be yourself, you know. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't have to be like this huge pressure. If you can, you can. If you don't, you don't. You know what I mean? But definitely try. At least put the effort in, you know. You're already in the relationship. You got to keep working at it. It's not so simple. It's not so easy, and it shouldn't be. It's a relationship, and it comes with that's the whole thing about it. But if you're in a relationship, this is the time to make up for any fight that you had, make up for anything, any moment that you may have missed, or you feel like you're not giving enough attention to. This is the day just for that. Just to show your appreciation for somebody else. Just to show your pure and undivided attention of love for that one person who matters more than anything. Somebody who at the end of the day, if they were to get sick or hurt, you would be right there by their side through it all. This is that moment. This is that time. Now, if you're in a fresh relationship, hey, I get it. Maybe take it a little slow, nothing too crazy. How about, just keep it plain and simple. Some flowers and chocolates. It doesn't have to be anything big. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. But as long as it fits the dynamic of your relationship and it's not something crazy, something so wild. Like if you've only been dating for let's say a month, let's say you just started dating in January. Now it's February. You kind of don't want to make it too huge of a deal, Valentine's Day. You want to keep it small and simple, but you also want to make it a little bit of a special day. So flowers, chocolates, and maybe a card. A card is nice, and it's definitely the gateway to opening the relationship to more love. I feel like Valentine's Day is a good day to ease into a relationship. Maybe not start a relationship on Valentine's Day, because it's always going to feel weird to be every time the day comes around, Valentine's Day rolls up, you're going to feel, I don't know, it's a holiday, but it's not going to feel as special. I feel like Valentine's Day is only special because it's that day. If you do it on that day specifically, it's how I feel about maybe, sharing birthdays or a holiday with a birthday. Like if your birthday's on Christmas Day, isn't that kind of doesn't it kind of ruin the experience just a little bit? It just kind of, it tones it down a bit is all I'm trying to say. So I feel that way with Valentine's Day. If you start your relationship on that day, then it's oh, it's Valentine's Day. It's our 1 year anniversary. I don't know. It just doesn't feel as good as opposed to just some random day and then it's just Valentine's Day. Whatever. Who cares? Right? Anyways, if you're in a relationship during Valentine's Day, I wish you nothing but the best. Get out there, love your person, and yeah, just be yourself. Don't Don't put pressure on the day. It's just a regular day. I feel the need to really give some ideas on taking the time for yourself on this day. Now, this goes for single or in a relationship. Maybe you don't want a regular Valentine's Day. Maybe you just want a chill, relaxing Valentine's Day. May I recommend going a self-care day, the spa. Although I don't know how many people. I mean, imagine the amount of people like yesterday, on the 13th that get ready for Valentine's Day. Can you imagine that? Everybody getting all glammed up and getting their nails done, or just for Valentine's Day. You know what I'm saying? How much money do you think is being spent the day before? On chocolates, flowers, maybe edible arrangements. You know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say is, today, you can love yourself, and may I recommend a nice spa day, a nice self-care day, something that's gonna make you feel good, and also just a crazy amount of junk food, or just food that you like to eat, something that you enjoy, something that makes you feel, something that just, it gives you that rush, that excitement in your life. Some people like are adrenaline junkies. So they like going skydiving, surfing, they like riding motorcycles and whatnot. For those people, it's easy to love yourself. You just go out there, you ride your motorcycle, you can go skydiving, you can do whatever with your life, right? Other people, it's a little bit more subtle. Maybe loving yourself is reading your favorite book again, or romance movies. That's a good chill Valentine's Day. Just sitting back, relaxing, pop some popcorn, and watch some of your favorite romance movies. Something that's just mushy gushy. Like go watch The Notebook, right? That's a classic. That's a go-to. That's a favorite of many people's. I don't think there's anything wrong with that movie, right? Basically, just watch a bunch of Rachel McAdams movies. Most of them are romance, aren't they? And she's an amazing actress. All that I really want to tell you right here, right now, is that put the time and energy on this day for yourself. And it could honestly set you up for the rest of the year. The year has just begun, people. I'm telling you right now, if you love yourself on this day and you take the steps and you take the time and energy to put effort into who you want to be and who you are, you're not just going to experience Valentine's Day today. You're going to experience it all throughout the rest of the year. This could be the tide-changing day that could just set up the rest of your year. This is the day. This is that time. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't do this, if you don't love yourself, if you don't have that feeling inside of your heart, if you can't express it for yourself, if you can't take care of yourself, you will break down and you will hurt other people who love you and care for you and want to be there for you, but you can't give back because you don't have the strength, you don't have the love for yourself to give back. That's why it's so important right here, right now, to take the time, breathe it in. And it doesn't have to be long. You can still love other people while loving yourself, but you got to take the time for you. So let's say you just woke up, it's Valentine's Day. Oh my goodness, it's Valentine's Day. And you have so much on your plate. Maybe you're going to Go give your love to your partner or to your family and friends and whatnot, right? Just take a deep breath. Take 5 minutes for yourself. Just a small 5 minutes, that's all. And give yourself some words of encouragement. Just really, really something that speaks to you, something that matters to you. Something that tells you that you are an amazing person, you deserve to be loved, and you're going to make it through the day, all right, with nothing but good intentions and a kind heart. And you're going to go out there and you're going to celebrate, and you're going to have fun with people who genuinely care for you and love you back. And you're going to have a great day. That's what's going to happen. It's true. If you believe in it, it will happen. I'm telling you. You know what else is going to happen? A bunch of things are going to get sold on this day. I mean, I can't get my mind off of it. How much money do you think is honestly being spent right now on dresses, makeup, nails, shoes? I mean, chocolates, flowers, edible arrangements, like I said. I mean, there's so champagne even. Ice, perhaps, right? It's so... I mean, it's so crazy that this day is commercialized, and it's been, commercialized for a long time, but it's one of those holidays where you feel like if this were to leave, would it really be that bad? Like, would life really be that bad if Valentine's Day didn't exist? I say no, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if it went away. We would find a way to still love each other. We would find another day. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, we give into this idea, this concept of Valentine's Day. And I accept it. I freely accept it. I think it's, it's not the worst thing in the world. I just feel what's best for me is that I try not to overspend. I try not to overdo it on this day, just because I feel like that's how they get you. That's how they get the money. That's how they get to waste your time and hard work, just so that way you can prove your love to somebody else. That's why I'm kind of against all of the gift giving, because it's more so about what's in your heart, not what's in your hand, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Just coming straight from the heart, a good poem or some quality time with somebody, right? But obviously, these companies got to make that money. They still got to get that. They still got to get that money for themselves. So what do? They put all of these things in front of your face and say, you have to buy it. You have to buy this jewelry because it's coming out. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. You got to buy these chocolates because that's their favorite chocolate and they love it. You got to buy them flowers because that's the most basic thing in the world. I can only imagine how much... Okay. So these flower companies, right? They know the Valentine's Day is coming up. How many roses do you think that they have on hand just to give out? Maybe like 200,000, 300. I mean, it literally could go up into millions, right? Because so many people buy them, and so many people have the money to buy not just one bouquet or like 12, a dozen red roses, but they have to buy a dozen 12 roses, or so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? And each one of those flowers has a price to it. It's not cheap for them to continually make and grow. And these companies got to make a profit. Not to mention they got to deliver the flowers, right? Depending on if you order them online, or if you or if you go to the store and you pick them up, right? just thinking about that amount of money for flowers is crazy. And for that one specific flower. Now, there are any number of other flowers that you could give, but there's something about the red roses, you know? They obviously made that the staple of the day, the flower of the event. So, prices have gone up. Prices have gone up dramatically. And I wouldn't be against it if you made your own roses. All right? That is totally acceptable in my book. Now, the last thing that matters about Valentine's Day is that you do what's right in your heart. If it's not what's right in your heart, I'm telling you, the day is going to turn very sour very quickly. If your heart is in the right place, I get it. And things fail, I get it. You know, that happens to the best of us. We all have the best intentions, or we want something to go really well for the day. But then there's, it's not just you out there. There's other people, and that's what sucks. Other people ruin the day, or they dampen your mood, or they overcrowd and they take your idea and they just stomp all over it. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. That's why it's so important to build something that without even thinking about it, what's going to feel best for you and your relationship. Your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your partner, your relationship with your family and whoever, and friends, right? Shout out to all the Galentines, if that's what you're doing on this day. Or maybe, the day before, whatever. Just all that I'm trying to say is you gotta follow your heart. And when you lead with love, that's how you get all of the best things for yourself and for your relationship. Because it's your emotions and your feelings that really drives you to doing great things. I've never seen anybody who wasn't passionate or excited about what they do or loving what they do and it's sucking, right? If you're really passionate about gardening or lawn mowing, for example, they're going to do an amazing job at it, right? It's not going to be child's play. It's not just going to be cutting grass like some people do. For them, it's an art. They're going to do it perfectly. They're going to do it with the nice crisscross pattern for the grass, how it looks all pretty and neat. It's going to have a nice visual aesthetic, very appealing look to it. They're gonna water the grass. They're gonna take care of it perfectly, and that's what comes with passion. That's what comes with loving what you do and loving yourself. It comes from loving the things in your life that have led you to this moment. The people that have been in your life that led you to this moment. The one person in your life who you love more than anything that has brought out the absolute best in you. This is the time to let it all out and not to hold it in. You got to follow your heart. And if that takes you down a road that's a little, that's a little scary, it's a little vulnerable, trust me, you're in the right place. Because it's that vulnerability, that little bit of being terrified that propels you to do things that you never would have thought of and things that are amazing. How many times have you been inspired by somebody else and what they do? Now imagine you do that thing for somebody else, and when they do it great because you give them the inspiration. You believe in them. You give them the comfort. You give them the courage to do what's right, to do the best that they can at it. That's so cool. And that's the power of love. So follow your heart. Do what's best for you. And when you do that, it's also going to do what's best for other people. And it's only going to lift them up. It's really going to inspire them. It's really going to show them that there are people out there who are kind and loving and deserving of your love, and also people who deserve yours. You know what I mean? Who are that that you are deserving of love and that your love can be shared with them and it really matters. So, happy Valentine's Day, guys. I wish you all nothing but the absolute best on this day. And go out there and spread some joy, spread some laughter, and lots of love. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.